Cool, that only took 3 attempts. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AIE working group call for the 7th of May. Relatively light agenda for today at the moment. Yeah, let's make a start. The first thing to call out is Fan is going to be stepping forward as co-chair for the working group going forwards. There is a PR posted that's linked in the notes that you can hopefully see on my screen. Just needs an approval. If I can just go through to this. So Ali's already looked at it and signed off on it. Thank you for doing that. So yeah, Vladik, if you are able to, I think you're the only person on the call with approval rights in the community repo. If you could just approve that, that would be appreciated. It's just metadata stuff, basically. Cool, thank you. Fan, I think you've got a little summary here of the work that you've been doing on the 1.7 branch. Do you want to take it away and talk about that?
Yeah. So I have updated the release 1.7 AIE NV branch. So I rebased the code base at the on the top of the released 1.7. So in this branch, we captures all the refactored and clean up the commits for the KubeVirt enablement on the GB200 that providing validated solutions to users who can create the computer tray size VM with all GPU and NIC pass through, keeping the NUMA alignment distance and performance for the guest on the tree size. Feel free to review the commits codes there. We have internally tested and for the RPM, because we noticed that the upstream JD and our Red Hat for NV that was in the plan doesn't contain the all the necessary libs from the NVIDIA QMU and the libvirt repo. So we in this the code base is recommended to for the customer to build their own RPMs from the NVIDIA QMU and the libvirt source code. So we can publish the practical instructions how to do that. So also I'm also looking for a good place uh, to publish the documents and the examples as well. So any suggestions?
So the documentation and the examples, do you mean for the libvirt and QEMU building of the RPMs, or are you talking about something else? Or I wasn't quite sure, or just in general for this effort?
Yeah, two things. One, general illustration, what this project is, what it's targeting for, what's the goal, and how to use it. The second part is how to build the RPMs from the NVIDIA QMU libvirt, as you said, yes. And providing some concrete examples how to use that. Um,
Yeah, so I think like anywhere on that branch is acceptable. For the 1.8 branch, I actually went in and adjusted the root README of the project that was originally just the default KubeVirt README. But I've rewritten it for this particular branch, for the 1.8 branch, to kind of call out what we're doing, why we're doing it, where we're getting our RPMs from, some architectural stuff. So I think for you on the 1.7 branch, if I just switch to that, um, yeah, like I think it's completely acceptable for you to go in and rewrite this README so it's kind of more specific to what you're looking to deliver through that branch and how you're doing it, where the RPMs are coming from. how users can consume it and all of that kind of stuff. I think that's completely fair.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think another open question is, I'm wondering how do you continuously evaluate the AIE branches from your side?
So at the moment for the 1.8 branch, we have very limited coverage in terms of just traditional prow jobs. So if I click through to one of these, um, we have a set of jobs that are defined. I'm more than happy to kind of help you set up a similar set of jobs. None of them exercise, obviously, any of the GB200 pass-through kind of flows. So this is all very generic, kind of basic stuff that we cover already for ARM64 and AMD64 in KubeVirt, just as a sanity check, and then we are doing some additional testing downstream with GB200, but that was supposed to be happening this afternoon, but that hasn't happened just yet. But that's very manual and quite labor intensive at the moment. We don't have any automation around it, unfortunately. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, if you guys have access to hardware as well or a cluster, I'm sure the KubeVirt CI folks would be happy to help kind of get that cluster provisioned as part of Prow and available to run against either of these branches as well.
okay, okay, awesome. So, and is there any person I can contact with that?
For just the generic kind of stuff, I can definitely help. If you have additional compute that you're willing to contribute into our CI infrastructure, then I can put you in contact with Daniel Hiller or any of the other Dennis, even any of the other folks that look after the KubeVirt CI upstream, and we can work with them. But in the generic case, if you want, I can basically copy paste what we've got here and apply it and CC on the PR, and we can kind of work through the generic case outside of that.
Okay, I see, I see.
Let me actually make that as an action item. So I actually go back and do it myself. Oh, that did not work. There we go. There we go. And Fan, just with the 1.7 branch, you've obviously got uh what's the word I'm looking for here? You're obviously listed as a maintainer for the branch now, so you're able to force push. But do you, if we get some CI set up, would you transition into kind of a PR based approach and kind of just iterate on things that way, or would you still just push?
Okay, so can I yeah, if I switch to the PR, can I also keep the force push?
You can, yeah. Yeah, I was just wondering what the plans were with the branch, if it was just going to be a short-lived, like here's the state of development thing, or if it was going to be a longer-lived kind of project and you wanted to go to PR based. But it's not that important. I think what's important probably at the moment is the kind of effort then to translate your proposed solution on 1.7, parts of our proposed solution on 1.8 into something for 1.9 on main, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. So I wanted to learn about how do you usually what's the process you do for the 1.8, and like how do you cut off the release? How do you maintain the dev and the release work? Which commit going to uh, merge to the main? How do you do that?
So at the moment, the 1.8 branch itself in the KubeVirt AIE project um, is completely separate from KubeVirt main. We like you've obviously got the enhancement that's been merged for 1.9. Um, so I think the general understanding from previous calls was that um, if your enhancement was approved and merged and everything, um, we would help you review the initial code that would go into main for 1.9, likely based around your solution. But we would also ensure that it would align with any requirements that we had from our 1.8 kind of branch and how we did things there. There was, yeah, we were never going to just cherry pick things from the KubeVirt AIE branches up into main without having an enhancement and without kind of aligning, you know, your kind of approach in 1.7 and our approach in 1.8. Like going through them, they're not massively different. There are things that the LibVirt and the KMU team are doing now to try and help us out a little bit with some of the SMMU options and stuff. They're trying to make it so that we can just set, I forget what the field is, to auto something that yeah, there's a mode that we can set to auto and it will populate all of the values for us, so we don't have to go and introspect or have them hard coded as I think you guys do for 1.7 for that device. So yeah, as things progress, that could be something we end up using or not. Um, yeah, and we might even end up having another KubeVirt AIE branch for 1.9 for this effort if um, we're not able to merge enough into 1.9 like main or sorry KubeVirt main or like KubeVirt and KMU don't have the right support and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be an ongoing thing throughout the cycle, I think. Vladik, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the main the answer is that, I mean, we're going to push patches, like new PRs. It's not an automatic transition between what we had in the 1.7 branch or 1.8 branch. It's just new PRs. We're going to review them together, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So I think for me, the next thing I'm planning to do is the converging on the consensus between the 1.8 and 1.7, so we can create some PRs, consolidate the implementation work towards the 1.9. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And we spoke previously about having potentially having some kind of documentation somewhere that kind of sets out, the differences and potentially where things need to be aligned and stuff. But yeah, I'm happy to work on that if you think that would be useful. We've already got your enhancement that sets out a direction of travel anyway. Um, so yeah, just if we can get the PRs started as early as possible, that would be great. And yeah, we can obviously work through and see how far we get before, well, over the next couple of weeks ahead of code freeze.
Cool. Awesome.
Just a random question as well that just came to mind. You said that there were patches potentially missing from the QEMU and Liver builds that we're using on our branch, on the 1.8 branch, that are available in the 1.7 branch. Do do you have like a rough like outline of what those things that were missing? Was it EGM and stuff like that, or was it something
Uh,
uh, more
yeah.
trivial?
So I don't have a full list in my mind right now. A few things in my mind right now is uh, the first one is EGM. I think because the NVIDIA providing the list to the Red Hat for the kernel to pick up, so that will be going through the Red Hat for NV work. But as I know, by the latest release, 25. So which version I forgot. So the latest release in the coming month doesn't pick up a few commits that in the NVIDIA repos. including the EGM bug fixes, and also the NUMA distance alignment. Also, yeah, so basically the two things. And one thing I think difference is NVIDIA LibreVirt using different CXL parameters. Like we discussed, you are in the 1.8 the upstream RPM will be using the SSID, but for the downstream it's different. So that's sort of the small differences.
Okay, I think some of the EGM bug fixes might be coming with the Red Hat portion of it, like that they're working to a slightly different schedule to us, so that it doesn't necessarily line up with what we're gonna have on the 1.8 branch or be consuming. We're still trying to figure out, how long we need to pull in new versions of QEMU and libvirt and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anything huge that's missing. It might just be the timing and things being potentially reworked as they're upstreamed on the Red Hat side. So it's not as obvious if things have landed or not. Because yeah, I know they've reworked quite a few things from that had landed in the NVIDIA branches that we've then reworked on our branches before then upstreaming them. So okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything huge that had gone missing. But if there is something that you notice, or if you do start consuming any of the AIE packages and you have issues, yeah, feel free to reach out to us and we can then go talk to the Virt maintainers or the kernel maintainers on our side, make sure that things stay aligned.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, was there anything else that we wanted to talk about today? Don't think so. One issue that the PRs I just showed a minute ago, one issue that we have had with our branch has been multi GPU pass through to a single VM. That the Virt folks on our side believe is down to us not isolating the GPUs with their own expander bus and root port. So there's an open PR from me at the moment, this one here that I've just got open 45, that is looking to do that. But looking over your implementation on 1.7, and I think the suggestion in the VEF as well, you guys have already got this in place, I believe, where you've got the GPUs separated on individual expander buses and stuff. So yeah, hopefully we haven't actually tested it yet. We're just about to test it downstream now, but yeah, hopefully that resolves that for us.
Yeah, so I think it's for the GB200. Yeah, the requirement is that each GPU should be placed in a dedicated expanded bus.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear from you guys. Yeah, we weren't sure, to be honest, and we couldn't find a reference or anything. And the libvirt folks assured us, well, have now assured us that this should work. But yeah, it's good to hear it from you guys and see it in your implementation as well. So that's all good. Cool. Okie doke. Does anyone have anything else they wanted to raise today?
Could you share the PR? Yeah, the first one. Sorry, if you can post it in the chat, I can. I have so many windows open. I'll just approve it and.
Oh, what the topology? This one, the topology one.
No, the first one where we nominate fan.
Ah, right, got you. Yep. Okay. Where's that gone? This one. Cool. Let me do that. 2 seconds. It's in that chat window. I can put it in Slack as well if you want. There we go. Cool.
That's good.
Awesome. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I will take the silence as there's nothing else to talk about. Yeah, fine. Just let us know when any PRs get posted for the implementation for 1.9, and yeah, we'll jump on them and start helping you get them merged ASAP, I guess. Cool. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. Yeah, catch you all in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll start having some code PRs to look out for 1.9 by then. Cheers. Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.